All right, hey, so it is Friday night, late-ish. I mean, comparatively. And we're gonna do another custom character. We did the White Witch before. We're gonna do the Bard this evening. Um, so here we are with our Bard chits. His powers you'll see up here. He is a storyteller. He subtracts one from all rolls on higher meeting table, so that's pretty useful. And then lore rolls 1 die instead of 2 for read runes. I think that's probably 50-50. I mean, he can learn type 2s and type 8. We're going to turn the type 2 to gray. You'll see we took poison as our spell. That's going to allow us with this broadsword to do heavy star, but then a star, heavy star damage. So that's tremendous plus. And obviously, an armored character, an armored tremendous, we still kill with heavy plus plus. So that's going to be our armored dragon killer right there. But the map has conspired against us a little bit. We started the rogues or the soldiers. The inn of the house. The inn started in the one valley which I thought was crappy, which is this one right here, and it dumps into the cliff. So good enough. I mean, that's all. We're gonna live with it. We start at the house. What it means is we're not going to have a bunch of hirelings to begin with. So I think what we're going for here. So we're looking for it's a quest game. We're looking for 10 points is generally what I consider a victory, but again, I've been recording, people, so I've doesn't really matter. We score 8, we score 9. It's just all sort of relative to how we do. And I think we're going for definitely going to try to score prowess at least a point, gold at least a point, great treasure at least a point. So that's 3 points. So we're going to need between 5 and 7 points in cards, I think, to succeed. So speaking of cards, let's shuffle. We just shuffle there, and let's draw. We get locate the statue. Oops, we just turned the whole thing over. Shuffle again, just a navigator, which and trinkets. So let's look at those. Locate statue, navigator, which is to find 3 secret paths, and trinkets. And trinkets is newish, and it is take a small treasure to a giant, and I've gotten rid of the execute a trade phase because technically it will be blocked. So it's encounter a giant, trade in your treasure. So there's no phase required. So the giant will take your treasure, give you a large treasure in exchange. So that's cool. That's definitely a good one. Got to find a giant. Giants, potentially deep woods, ledges, and then obviously we can head through the deep woods and then into the mountains and the cliff there. So I think the ledges becomes our first. So I think the deep woods is our first. Gonna yawn. I don't know how far I am in because the clock that I didn't start the clock. So I just put the stream on, didn't start the damn clock. So, but we are starting to yawn. So I think we go through the deep woods, through the dark valley here, into the ledges real quick, into the ruin. Unfortunately, we're going to have to find this guy probably. That's going to take us into the mountain and the cliff potentially also. So I think we have at least a plan, a starter plan. The question is, do we want to get rid of any of these? I mean, I think Navigator is good in the sense that we start next to the deep woods, so there's 2 clearings here to find, and then a third we're going to have to find. So I think I'm going to keep it, keeping in mind that Navigator can eat days occasionally, and that's rough in this game. I was watching Casey Ben play his magician game, which was sort of fun to watch. But he plays 2 months, and I'm like, oh my god, 2 months! So many months, so many days. So it's funny because it is a totally different vibe because he got stuck on a clearing, getting attacked by tremendous dragon, and it's like, oh man, that's awesome because he's ranking up fame and notoriety, and I was cringing the entire time only because I was like, man, that would have killed my game because you'd have effectively scored your 2 points in prowess, but taken up 2 weeks or whatever, to get through that one clearing. So it was sort of interesting to see the different time pressure there. But I'm going to take Navigator. I'll take Locate Statue, and I will take Trinkets, and we're going to stick with that. So let's look at the events now. And I do need a table. Let's pull out the quest tables. And what do we have? So let's flip that. Poison Pool. The Inquisition. Interesting. And a Bat Bounty. So all 3-point scoring, that's good to see. I do like that. So the Poison Pool, a fetid pool appears in a random clearing. Every monster gains a sharpness star to its attack. End a day in the clearing to perform one of the following actions: Alchemy and Lore. So I do have 2 magic asterisks, and the house rule is you can also fatigue a color. You can burn color and fatigue it. Every 2 asterisks you gain a roll. Cast any effect to cancel a spell or curse, or any visitor who's neutral or better from the. So not great for the bard. We do not have a ton of. So I'm going to put this here. And the Inquisition is up for 2 weeks, so we just have to know. So we just need the pool. So we will need some dice. Dice. I am still coming back to here and grabbing dice from here. I ought to make the dice gigantic and just pull them out of that pouch, actually, is what I should do. There we go. So now we roll a d10 and a d6. And we get 8, 4. So Ledges 4. So where is Ledges 4? It is here. So, I mean, we could take a shot at it. The Inquisition, the Order is sponsoring the Inquisition. Kill any demon or imp. Sell the Order an item with black magic or a type 5 or 8 spell. Perform a quest wounding 2 asterisks of magic, or if you do not have it, tithe 6 gold. So we could easily score 1 point by burning our 2 magic chits here. Now, getting here requires Borderland. I mean, technically, every place requires Borderland, obviously. So we go here to Borderland 1. We then go here to 6, to 3, to 5. So that's a good, once you hit here, that's 1 day, 2 days, and then your 3 days. So this is a 2-day tile here to get through it, to get to the chapel. But we will be here. We will be in Deep Woods 2. So not the worst. It would be great to find the statue in the Deep Woods, kill the imp, take the point, grab a treasure with black magic on it or some such. Walk up here, burn it, and burn your 2 chits and get all 3 categories, and that would be 3 points, which I've never scored that many points off of one of these ongoing quests for the soldiers or the Inquisition. But that is certainly possible to do. And then Bat Bounty, obviously we kill bats. Now bats are rough. Let's keep that in mind. The bard is medium, no armor to speak of. So any one hit from a bat is going to serious wound him. I don't have any buddies. I don't think I'm going to take much advantage of the bat bounty. We're going to try to avoid bats if at all possible. Having said that, we might use the 2-round trick. Oh geez, we just increased the size of the large campfire by some. We might use the 2-round trick where if we're hidden, we ignore round 1, do it round 2, and then we have a 33% chance of gaining a kill. And then if we don't gain a kill, the combat ends. So there you go. Okay, I think that's it. I think we are actually ready for round 1. And okay, what are we gonna do? So I think what we are gonna do, we will trade once with the soldiers just to see what they have. I don't really anticipate anything amazing coming out of this. The soldiers have light weapons. We don't really need a light weapon. We're gonna look at these treasures. A piece of armor, not a terrible idea. Then we're gonna hide, and then we're gonna go 2. Not the most exciting move. It doesn't get us into. So we're gonna move into the woods. So our move is trade, hide, move into the woods. Done. And we won't even pop the dark woods today. So, so be it. And let's get a monster roll up here. Get the 2 dice, 1, 2, make them just the tiniest bit bigger. All right, monster roll for day 1 is dragons. So, we gotta love some dragons. So we're gonna trade with our guys here. Thrusting sword at the bottom. Let's flip these cards. We get the Beast Pipes, which is a type 8 spell. So, and the Black Book. Oh my god. Wow. I mean, we're never going to get it, right? But that is a great draw because that ticks a lot of boxes. So I am going to roll on. I'm going to roll on the. I would take either of those. I would take both of them. I'm going to roll on the Beast Pipes. So we are friendly with the soldiers. We subtract 1 from all these rolls. If we get opportunity, we'll roll on it. It's price times 2. It's $16. So I think we're just going to sit on this. I'll mark my initial 10 gold there. And then we're going to hide and get moving. So we do bid adieu. We sing one last song for our boys there in the soldiering. And then we expose Ruins W. But that's it. And that's day 1. I am not sticking around. It's good to know where that is, simply because if we do need wolves, for whatever reason, there they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide on. Oops, we didn't set up cameras. That's a good point, sir. That is a good point, game. Here's our first camera. We will zoom out a tiny bit. Here's our second camera. Good enough for our third camera. And actually, we'll come here for our fourth camera. So there you go. So we're going to hide first. I'm going to move into the deep woods, and then I'm going to search and search because I do need those paths. So I'm going to put right here, I'm going to put 3 big zeros there, and then we will mark those off as we score them. So it's day 2, and let's see what the monster roll is for day 2. Oops. Let's see what the monster roll is for day 2. It's dragons again, because we avoided them, studiously avoided them before. So we're going to walk into there. Now we are going to be hidden. We are not going to be hidden. So we fail to hide. Now we're going to take 2 searches. We blow 1 search. We need a 3, 2, or 1 to find, and we blow the second search. And then it's Dank for Spiders and the Lost Castle. That's awesome and dangerous, hideously dangerous all at the same time here, because we're going to draw 5 red chits and see what the hell's what. Howl, that's bats. Horde in 6 is going to draw the Tremendous Flying Dragon. The Pool in 6, just in case that wasn't dangerous enough for you. Flutter in 1 is going to, that's going to be bad. This is a great tile, but sucks right now. Right? These guys are Flutter, right? Yes, they are Flutter. That ain't good. That is probably a premature death, actually. We can flee, so that's good. So I definitely think that we are going to play our M3 chit here, and we are going to quietly back out of that. Because that is not cool. So what we can do, okay, so that's that. So that's day 2. That's fine. Oh, the Horde, by the way, the Horde pop. I mean, just in case we wanted a little more fear to our day. Now, fortunately, we can run from him, so that's good. So, okay. So that brings us to our first sort of impact. I mean, that totally blocks us up. And we need to take care of this. So what we're going to do, we're going to obviously move into the woods 4. We're going to hide. And probably hide again. And then we're going to move back into the deep wood. So not a huge deal. We're going to see. But it does sort of put a kibosh, right? I mean, I'm hoping to run a bunch of searches here and a bunch of searches here. So that turns maybe a 3 or 4 day endeavor into 5, 6, 7 days. So what we're going to do, and we will see if this flies here. So we are gonna. So we need a monster roll for day 3. The day 3 or day 4? Day 3. I don't need to be losing any more days. And we get a 4. So giants and trolls. So that's going to bring the tremendous troll out too, because we need more crap in the damn deep wood. It looks like we might be taking a shortcut through the high pass. Like this tile might be a little rough for us right now, and we might run through it there. Nonetheless, so we move. We're going to hide 2 times. We succeed, and then we head back in, and now we're hidden there. And then, oops. And then the deep woods spews out yet another creature from its green coniferous. No, it's probably not coniferous. The maw of doom here. And so we are hidden. We got these guys here, so no one's on our sheet. And we are going to cast Poison. And that's going to turn this sword into a medium star. So that's good. The reason we did that is because now we can kill these guys without playing a heavy chit. So that's that. And we stay hidden. So we are still hidden. We've cast a spell that doesn't count as a round where nothing happens. So we have cast. Spell is cast. So round 2, we are going to target this guy. Oh, there is a small little bug there. Oh my, it's violating the bro code, which is, if I don't see you, you're good. I'm for, So we got that guy. We target him. We are going to ready our weapon with this right there. So that's going to be a time 3. 4. So he's going to stay put no matter what, and he does not flip over. So we're going to hit him with time 3. So that undercuts and intercepts. We do medium star. That is heavy star damage. Cut off the star. That's still heavy damage, and that's enough to kill the first flying dragon. The second one is now on our sheet, and we have to fatigue one. we're going to fatigue that guy. And now we're going to play this, and we do need to play a move. Now, fortunately, we can pretty much assure. Now, we don't have, this isn't forever. We could fatigue right out here, but 2. So he's going to jump down to the bottom. And what we're hoping for is we're hoping for the 70%. He does not flip. So we do the same thing. Medium star damage, which is medium star. That's heavy damage. We kill this guy. We have to fatigue it shit. And we are done. That is worth 15 prowess. So we'll put that under notoriety on the sheet here. We need 20 to score a point and 40 to score 2 points. But I am starting to do the rule correctly. Trying to start to minimize the number of goofy rules and if my hirelings kill it, we do not get the modifier for the day. Now that was a costly battle. We fatigued 4 chits, but we got rid of at least one. We got rid of that flutter. That flutter will not draw anymore, so that's good. Oh, woo! I'm tired. Fatigue 4 chits. I fatigued 4 chits that battle. So here's the gig. The funny thing is, we can do that to every creature on the boardroom until the octopus pops, and then we're effed. Or the bats. We can do that to both these creatures, but we have to rest those chits. We have to rest those chits each time. So we do not. It's slightly non-trivial to do this. So and we can't do it in a day is the other problem. Like we can't just pop, we can't hide, rest, spell X and spell. That's 5 phases. We only can do 4 of those. And we have to be hidden for this to work because we have to ready the weapon in addition to cast the spell. Unfortunately, there's not a good place to retreat to. If we had a valley to retreat to right off of here, we would just retreat into the valley and do it. The Oak Woods is more safer than the Deep Woods to do this, since the Deep Woods draws on at least 1, 2, 4 die rolls. The Deep Woods is going to draw creatures. So I think what we're going to do is, I think we are going to back into the woods. So we're going to back into the Oak Woods. So we move to the Oak Woods. We are going to hide, and then we're going to rest twice. And that at least gets us started. So let's get a monster roll for day 4. And this is what I do. I mean, this is what's killing me. I'm like, man, I am burning days doing this. The quest game as it stands really is a race, and you gotta hit it hard. So we get a slither, which would have been nothing, but we're gonna move here. We are gonna hide because we had to play it safe. We can't fight those wolves like this, so we do hide. We're gonna rest 2 times, and the 2 chits we're gonna rest are gonna be this one and this one, and we are done now. Okay. So tomorrow, tomorrow is spell X and spell, and we're going to hide and move back to the Deep Wood, and that's that. So that's day 5. We get 2, so again, serpents and demons, so nothing's going to appear. So we're going to end up there. Did we hide? It really doesn't matter, and we are hidden. But we are going to turn that guy into gray magic. I am pretty happy with how these chits have turned out, so I'm pretty happy with this whole endeavor here. And now I have my paint program set up to have a template that I can just quickly pop stuff in. And so that is cool. So I think we're gonna hide. We're gonna rest, and then we're gonna move into the horde. I think we have to. I want to take some of this crap out. We're not scoring points, but we could definitely use a couple bucks, and we're gonna need treasures anyway. One, so dragons are going to pop now. Mind you, that doesn't. Nothing else is gonna appear, but these guys are gonna move. But they won't because we're going to be hidden and we're going to walk in there anyway, right? And we are hidden and we do walk in there. We're going to rest 2 times though, and that gets us these 2 chits. Our move 4 comes back, obviously. And then we walk in there, and then this guy actually walks to us and he's here. Now he's not on our sheet. So let's put him there to indicate that. And on round 1, we're casting poison. Well, I'm rolling him already. I'm rolling for him to move already. So round 1, we're going to cast poison. So that's going to fatigue these. So done. Theoretically, we have to roll to stay hidden. It would be nice if we did. We do. So that's good. What are we doing now? Okay, so ready the broadsword. Play the M3 on round 2. He's there. We now. Oh no, we can't. Well, we can't play that. Hold on. Oh, we cannot auto kill him. Yeah, that's a miss. We totally misplayed that, didn't we? We have to play the heavy. That's too bad because now he can just move right out, and then he kills us pretty much. So. I mean, okay. I mean, we're here. We'll start over if we need to start over. But that's just me misreading the numbers here. That's a tip. I would normally retcon those and just go, yeah, I did. Why would I do that? That was dumb. It's dumb because you're not paying attention. I mean, I'm not paying attention. You're probably paying attention. If right, the easiest way to get the correct answers to be wrong on the internet, that's sort of where we ended up. So we're going to play this guy. We're still hidden, so at least that gives us that. And the problem is, then we cannot even. Yeah, there's no actual way to do this correctly. So this is ultimately a losing fight, no matter what we do, without like a dude here. So we are actually going to back this out and not play this because. Again, misreading the times on the chits. That is my fault. I apologize. It does happen, though. So we're going to go back here, and we're actually just going to retcon this day. So we're not doing that. So the problem is, because we can only play an H4, because we still have to do heavy star damage to kill the tremendous armored dude. And that's great. Super awesome. But the problem is that if we miss him on round 1, then on round 2, he's going to hit us first every single time. So there's no good way to actually get in and protect yourself. You would have like a 1/3 chance of killing him. You have a 1/3 chance of killing him on round 1 because you intercept. And then on subsequent rounds, you have a 2/3 chance of getting hit by him first. And then maybe hitting him, but that's going to take a serious wound on you. The troll's a little easier because the troll has a time of 4, and so our broadsword would be longer. So we could pull that on the troll, but we cannot pull, and we can pull that on the other dragon. And I was playing a test game, and that's what I was doing. I was attacking him, and this strategy works on him. It does not work on his leaner, fitter cousin, the tremendous flying dragon. So that is a no-go for us. So sorry about that. Let's re-up day 6 here and figure out what actually the strategy would be. Well, to be honest with you, I think what I would do at that point is I would hide and then search. I would try to score Navigator at that point. And I would try to Pop this, you're going to be hidden. If this guy pops on you, you do kill him. If this guy pops on you, you either stay hidden or you run out of dodge. And then if we need to, and in fact, if this guy does pop on you, great, because then you walk into the horde and start looting the horde, because you can run from both these guys. So that's how we're going to roll with day 6 now. And we get a 3, so we get the pool pops. Well, there you go. The horde's now mostly off limits, I think. So we're going to hide, and we do. And now we're going to roll 3 times. We're hoping for a 3, 2, or 1. That's a fail. Come on, we can do this. We can do this. It's another fail. Be great for a locate roll. But we're peering, and we fail 3 times. And then the pool pops, and the octopus shows up. So the horde and the pool are now both guarded by their respective guardians. A lot of heat coming down here. A lot of heat. I don't like it. And we are burning tons and tons of time. So and we've moved 2 tiles. So I think what we're going to do for day 7 is we are going to hide and we're going to move into the high pass. So not great, but we're going to take the shortcut and go here. And then we just want to open up some stuff here to see what's what. Maybe the giants will pop there. Giants are an easy kill for us typically. So that's what we're going to do. So it's day 7. The other reason I'm getting out of the deep woods, to be honest, so I roll on day 7s, I roll 2 dice, right? I don't play the solo rules where you roll 2 dice every day. That's great. I mean, that's cool. It makes it super difficult. But I do find, again, I've played that way a couple times, and what I've found is you tend to do something like this tile in particular. So this guy would be a mess for the quest game because it would tend to tie up characters. You know, you would just be stuck in here or having to run out because there would be so many monsters going on. But every 7th day I do, we have the dangerous day 7. And that gets more monsters regen and so on. So it is day 7. Let's get a monster roll here. And we get 6s and 2s. So we're going to get bats and serpents and demons. And the reason, so I move out of here. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to hide on a 6. And we are hidden on a 6. Let's flip this guy. It's bones, so trolls, and altar in 1. And that's going to draw the demon. So the reason I moved out of here was in case I rolled a 1 and a 4 and these guys would clear out a dodge, then I could head back in. Or a 2, right? And I could head back in. So I'm not super thrilled with where I'm at the moment, if I'm to be honest. Main reason is the high pass is pretty rough. It is probably 2 days through. I could either go straight through to here, with the only caveat that, man, I would not want to see bats in this tile. I wouldn't want to see like a Howl 4 or a Bones M. I don't think Bones M is it. Yeah, Bones M, Howl M, Ruins M. Right? There's 2 possible chits that draw bats. That's a rough haul. I think I'm going to do it just because. So I'm going to move to Mountain 4. Just because we need to make some haste here. And that's on day. Now, before I do that, though, I'm going to reserve the right to pull that move because I'm going to draw 3 more events. Tiles enchant. So we roll a d6. We spontaneously enchant tiles. So, okay. I will do that in a moment. Riddle game. Oh, which appears. That's nice because I know where that appears. And the broken wagon. That wagon is a mess. So first off, let's pull the riddle game. There it is. And let's pull the wagon. Okay. So the riddle game appears in the only woods tile we've turned up. So that's done. And the broken wagon appears in one of 8 tiles. And let's see where it appears. 1. Oops, wrong one there. Awful Valley. So the wagon appears in the Awful Valley. So which valley is awful? That one. So done. Okay. And then tiles enchant. We roll a d6 and 3 tiles enchant. So, we have to roll a d20. I'm not going to pull out a d20. I'm going to pull out a d10 and a d6. 4 through 6 are the 11 through 20. Okay. So we're going to use redneck die engineering here. 3. So 3 is the caves. So the caves enchant. So that's the first tile. Caves enchant. So that's 1 of 3. The second tile that enchants is 16. Linden Woods. Those ones are dangerous because they change the paths. So it is very possible that all of a sudden a bunch of stuff becomes unreachable by the bard who can't unenchant them, right? So third tile to enchant is 7. Oh, the high pass. And that does us no good. But whatever, it is intriguing. So I think so we did not rest 2 of these, by the way. Those were rested here, and we moved instead. So on day 8, knowing what we know, are we going to head back and catch that riddle game or not? That's really the question. Yes, we are going to do the. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to pledge to the Inquisition. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put my chit on the Inquisition to show that I have pledged for the Inquisition. So and that's 1 week is gone. So it lasts for this week only because it's kill any demon or imp. So interesting. There's an imp there giving a riddle. So I wonder. Now we can't be hidden when we fight him because that's not how that works. We are not allowed. We have to become unhidden and battle the imp. Like you have to step out and battle the imp to claim his to get the so that means we're gonna eat a curse. That stinks. But I think we're gonna do that. I think we're gonna do it. It's a little dicey, but I think we're going to do it. We're so dead. We are so not making this game. We are not going to survive this. So I'm going to move and then move to the riddle. Those are my days. So I am going to on day 8 get a monster roll. It is a 2, so serpents and demons again. We just go 1, 2 right there, and that's that. And then we encounter the riddle game. So we have the option to try to solve it, right? That is true. Where is our brother imp? Right there. So he is this is a non-trivial fight for our guy. We can't avoid his attack this round. There's just no possible way. but we don't really need to play much. We just have to eat that first curse, which don't get me wrong, I'm very concerned with. But if it's something like gold or something like that, I think we can live with this. So let's see where he ends up. 2, so he ends up down here. And does he flip? I would rather him flip. He does flip. So that's good because now he flips. He misses me because I played a time 4. I miss him. We are both we're both missing. That's awesome. I am going to I don't like it, but I'm going to keep this combat alive by playing 2 asterisks. So we're hoping for a 4 or a 1. Let's hope really hard for that. It's a 4. Perfect. Now here's what we're also hoping. We're hoping he does not flip over, and he doesn't. So we line up. Oh, and we missed him last round, so this flips. We line up. We hit him first because our weapon is long, and we matched his time. And we will kill him before he manages to kill us. And we have to fatigue a chit. So we're going to fatigue. I don't love any of these, but we're going to fatigue this guy and take this guy back. And we killed an imp. That's worth 2 points. So we're going to take 2. And it is worth. So we got the riddle game. And we scored 1 point for the Inquisition by killing the imp. So that's worth 2. So we actually have 2 card points in our pocket. And those are our first 2 points of the game. Which actually is not terrible. Week 2 in the solo game, believe it or not, that's not the worst thing. So we're going to take the riddle game off the board. Oops. We're going to discard this card. And we also get a small treasure because the imp has a small treasure. So that gives us something to give to giants, which is nice if we need to. And we get the Dragon Fang necklace. Control in. That is flippin' awesome. So, I mean, right now, that is a great treasure also. So, so that's our 3rd point. So that kill was worth 3 points for us right now. It also edges us closer to the magic 20 to get a 4th point in notoriety. We are a little bit winded, and we should certainly consider, because this chit is important to us. And every character has that, right? They have critically important chits to you. Typically, your fastest fight or in your heaviest fight are important chits. And strangely enough, chits that take no energy, no asterisks, are also strangely important. Even though they're the easiest to wound, they're also pretty important because you can't play this best fight without playing one of these no-effort moves. And the White Knight has this, the Berserker has this problem, is that if you're playing asterisks on your move, you cannot play your heaviest fight chits, your fastest and heaviest fight chits. So you got to be sort of wary. So in purple, we could control a dragon. That's great. We're not going to have that option. I wish we could lure this guy into here. Can we kite? And the answer is no. So it's day 9, and we got to write day 9. And what are we going to do on day 9? So the question is, do we end up back there? Now, this guy hidden is an auto kill. Hidden. Not hidden. We're getting Power of the Pitted, and then we'll kill him, but we're getting Power of the Pitted. This is clunky because it's just a long haul through a lot of clearings, and we got a lot of creatures there. We would love to search these for Navigator, but I just feel it's a little dangerous to do so. So I would love to get out of Dodge. I would love to get out of Dodge here. I feel a little trapped. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide. I'm going to move into the deep woods again. And I am going to search twice to try to catch this clearing before I pop in back into there. So it's day 9. I mean, we're doing fine. I just don't like sort of where we ultimately ended up, if that makes sense. So we're going to go here. We are popping a hide. We blow the hide. We search 2 times. We're really looking to get that 3, 2, or 1. That's a 6. Hey, what's up, Jim? How are you, man? Oh, and that's not going to do it either. God dang it. So we don't find this path still. And now we get dank, so the spider shows up. The good news is this spider, if we kill him, is going to he's going to pop our notoriety for a point. We are playing custom characters right now. And we can just play this M5 and pretty much play this. And if he flips, we're going to hit him first. And he can't, he can't undercut us. So this is a pretty safe fight. So let's see if we can't get this one done. So I'm playing the Bard. How are you this evening? 4. So he stays put. That is perfect. And regardless if he flips or not, so he doesn't flip. But since this is round 1, our long weapon will hit him before he hits us. So that's going to kill him, doing heavy damage, medium star. And so that's going to put him in the dead pile. That's going to be another 3. And so the nice thing about that is that hits the magic mark of 20 prowess. So we actually score a point of prowess. And now we are at 4. Not bad for day 9. You know what I would have really liked? To have found this damn path. That's what I really wanted. Oops, geez, sorry, banging the mic with a cup. That had to sound great. You've now heard my percussion section. So now I think I'm going to hide and I'm going to pop into the high pass. So I think I need to. I think I'm sort of getting out of Dodge, and I don't like it because usually if I have Navigator, I'm trying to utilize the deep woods, but this deep woods is very dangerous for me. No hirelings. I think I'm busting out of here. And so I'm going to go this way and pop around. Now let's keep something in mind. I do not want to give up this Dragon Fang necklace for any reason because it's a great treasure. So it's worth a point. So it's really not worth me popping that for trinkets to give to the giants, even though I would get a large treasure. Hey, David, how are you? Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoy the series, man. And it's barely any effort at all. I love Magic Realm. I mean, if I think you might be able to tell that it borders on pathological at this point. It is by far my favorite board game of all time. So thanks a lot. I'm glad that you're watching, and I hope it's at least entertaining. I know I play sort of a weird version of the game. So I know some people don't dig it but I do love it. Jim, Bard starts with 2-8. So 2-8, I looked and I thought, man, that perfectly lends itself to poison, right? So what poison allows me to do, right, is, and I've used it already. I've used it against the 2 heavy dragons because what that allowed me to do against the heavies, right? So here, let's grab the heavies. So these guys, So these guys, with a time 4, being hidden, cast poison. That turns this into an M star star sword, right? So if I'm hidden, I cast poison, I ready the weapon, I can hit them with that, and I can sort of get an auto kill time 3, unless they flip, of course. If they flip, then it's like, ugh, okay. But they didn't. So a time 3 M star star is going to do heavy damage to these guys. And technically, it also allows me to then kill Tremendous, which I sort of flubbed up and tried. I walked into the Tremendous Dragon, but then realized, yeah, this isn't going to work actually in this case. So, the Tremendous Flying Dragon you cannot actually kill without taking potentially a serious wound. So you got to you need hirelings for that. The last time I did do it, I played a practice game with the Bard for a couple weeks just to sort of feel them out, and I had 2 rogues with me, and they kept the dragon sort of dancing a little bit while then I got the killing shot in. Because again, with this chit or this chit, I can now do H star star damage, and that kills everything on the board, even an unarmored Tremendous. So he becomes reasonably powerful with poison, I thought. And so I do like that. Now, obviously, the other way to go would be utilize his lore, but I think that works better in the base game. I think that going with Remedy, as a for instance, going with Remedy is better in the base game because then you can put a bunch of points. You can put a couple points into spells, and then go learn some spells. Whereas, the most points on the first. So in this game, for 3 points, for 3 spells you get 2 points, and that's it. You can score 2 points. 2 points in spells, done. I'm like, I don't love it. So I backed off of that, and I just decided. I mean, I might learn a spell or 2, but I don't know that the curse is worth the risk for that. So that's where I'm at. Right now, I wanted to pop Navigator and get these 2 paths, but this got really hot really fast. In fact, I'm not even showing you how hot this is because the octopus is here, the flying dragon is here, the tremendous troll is here. We could get bats, and we're going to get spiders. So there's a lot of rolls which suck. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 rolls suck. It's like dentists recommending sugarless gum. That's 6 dentists is a dumbass, by the way. Now, mind you, the roll is 2. Serpents and Demons is safe at the Deep Woods, and I've rolled it like 2 or 3 times. So I think we're going to go around. We're going to head into, against my better judgment, we're going to head into the high pass. Try to get to the mountains here. And the mountains to the ruins. So we can check that out too. Hopefully find maybe this path and maybe this path for a navigator. And the ledges is good for the navigator too. Navigator's a little bit of a trap, frankly, in my game. Simply because there's so many times where like 3, 2, or 1, you're just not rolling what you need to roll. So anyway, I'm going to stop griping at you about my predicament here. It's day 10. I have a move written. Let's get this die. It's 3, so goblins, octopus, etc. We're going to pop in there. We are going to hide, but it ain't going to matter. And we're done. So we're hidden. Nothing appears. And that's pretty much day 10. And I hate to say it, okay, I think we're going to run. I think we're going to run it through. I mean, we could hide. So we could hide. We could take one more day. We're not too far behind on points. We have 4 points in the middle of the second week is actually a pretty good solo score. shooting for 10. 10 is the arbitrary cutoff for what I consider a win solo. We could slow play it. Maybe this guy jumps down, and he is, I think, an auto kill with. He's an auto kill if we cast poison, because then we can hit him with a time 3. We can hit him with a time 3 attack, and that would do medium star, which is tremendous damage. He's unarmored, and so we can kill him, get the 8 points, bringing us to 28. And that is, only 12 away from the second prowess point. Or we could run through. The only thing which really would disturb me, I think, would be a 6. The statue appears in 2, so we're not going to pop the imp. The imp's the other thing. The pool already has reared its ugly head and tentacles over here in the deep wood. So really it would come down to bats. It would come down to ruins or bones M and a roll of a 6. Now, knowing that chance is low, it's going to happen. So what we're going to do on day 11 is we're going to move into the mountain. So that's my problem. My problem is I always feel this time pressure. And so, I got to take some risks. And I think this is the calculated one. It's less than a 1/6 chance, because 1/6 to roll the bats. And we rolled a 2. So serpents and demons were probably good. So we go 1, 2 there, and then we pop this, and it is, by the way, ruins and howl 4. Wow, that would have been a death. If we rolled a 6, that's a death, 100%, because we're getting 3 bats. Now, what have we learned here today, class? we have learned. Whew, so it is a go. It is. And if you're here to watch me play Magic Realm, I apologize. I have a going theory that every person in their life has come within 6 inches of death, and they just have no idea, or they know, but a lot of people, right? It's that. Oh yeah, I fell off that ladder when I was 17. I did, by the way. Onto concrete from 20 feet up. And I happened to land great and was just stunned and concussed. Oh, okay. Well, you're 6 inches from death, probably. Foot gets caught, you go head first, done. Right? So there you go. That was the bard's 6 inches right there. It even says it on the die. He rolls a 6, 3 bats appear. He is done. So we have to get out of this damn mountain. God, and the worst part is, to be honest with you, yeah, even here, it's almost too dangerous to stay here, to sit and get this path. So every place that he's got to get a path is just become really dangerous for him. So I'm going to get out of dodge here. I'm going to move to ruins 1. I'm going to hide once and search once. So hide once. I'm going to move to ruins 1. Ruins 1. RU. I don't know why I don't like lowercase, but we're going to search 1 time. Oh, we could use the rest too. Jeez. Okay. I need a Holiday Inn Express. Maybe I should make a card. I should make a card. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad card. Just a quick boon. You get like a couple rest phases for free or something. So we're going to get spiders. So we're going to pop here. And let's see if we... So we pop that there. We are hidden. We get serpents and patter 5. That's going to draw a spider. Now, spiders are not an issue. Serpents are a little issue-y. And the reason being, they're heavy, they're armored. They're slow. I think we can beat them just using our chit. But the problem is... I watched One Character, No Option games to learn and reinforce my understanding. I watch stuff like this is a fun and interactive TV show. Well, great. I'm glad that I'm entertained. I'm not teaching anyone anything about this game. Uh, uh, I've taught a lot of people the game. I don't think this is the way to do it. You're right. Um, I am almost playing a different game, with the same engine, of course, but just a slightly different, um, definitely different flavor and feel. I think so. But yeah, no, that's cool. I post these largely just to not be playing 100 of these games by myself because that would feel lonely, I think. So I do appreciate you guys watching, and when you're on, I appreciate chatting and comments and all that. So I really do. And we didn't roll our search, so that's one thing here. Let's get that search out. Maybe today's the day we can roll a 3, 2, or 1. Bam! Perfect. That's what I need. 1-5 ruins. That is what I need. That is one of 3. Let's mark that off. I find 1-5 ruins to be an important. I find 6-4 mountain to be important. I find 1-5 ruin to be important, because of how much they save you. Right? They're just so good to save you phases that I do appreciate. I appreciate these. Now you have to find them, so they're a pain in the butt. So that does bring up the interest. So these 2 tiles are dead. Now I almost wish I could gray these out. Like almost wish I could color these just a little bit like a grayer color, just to at a glance go, yeah, I don't care about these tiles anymore. They're just monsters. They are not doing me any good. So I think what we have to try to do is I think we have to try to get to the ledges now. I wouldn't mind getting to the cliff, and I wouldn't mind getting to the broken wagon. Here's the problem with the broken wagon. Problem with the broken wagon is when we get there, we roll a d6. 50% of them are, hey, go get me some wood and bring it back. Well, if you look at the up there in the upper right, if I'm here, where's the nearest wood? It's a gazillion miles away, effectively. So we would have to come back through the cliff, through the mountain, through the ruin, through the dark valley here, and then we would end up at Deepwood 2. That would be the closest wood. So that would be a sum total of, I'm just going to eyeball it, 6 days. That's a 6-day trip to get this guy wood. If it comes up anything else, like the ogres are great kills. The bash cars, I'm not good for the bar because he's unarmored. And abandoned is of course fine, but you're not getting any VP out of that. So I think the broken wagon is dead to me. The poison pool is also sort of rough because we're only going to get one shot at it because we don't have enough magic. We don't have any visitors coming right now, and we don't have any effects that cancel a spell or curse. We don't have any potions either. So yeah, it's a little bit of a rough haul for us. So anyway, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get through here. I don't think I'm going to try to fight this guy. I think I'm going to try to get through. I'm going to try to get to here. So we're going to hide 1, 2, 3 and get to ledges 3. So we're going to hide. We're going to move, and move to ledges 3. So it's funny because these custom characters, I've had pretty much the same luck. I haven't burned any cards. Like the when I played the White Witch, I burned like 1 card at the very end. I did some events, but I got 1 card at the end of hers that I burned finally and scored. So it's sort of weird. It's just some luck here. So it's day 13. There we go. So day 13, we're going to monster roll this up. Oh, it's bats. Womp womp. Okay. Right. So we need to hide. We do. So we hide. We go 1, 2, 3. We're here. And let's see what we got. Oh, Bats and Slither. So Slither is nothing. Bats is bats. Might as well just say bats. Right? Instead of Bones M, it's Bats M. I mean, there's a bat bounty. And we get a search, by the way, because I think we did do a search. So let's roll a 1, 2, or 3. No, we roll a 6. So that ain't going to happen. So what we're going to do, so we are going to cheat. I'm not above cheap shots here. So we're hidden. So we are going to do the thing. We're going to ready this weapon. Not that it matters, but we're readying it. And round 1, we do nothing. We sit around round 1. And round 2, we are going to play a fight chit, and we're going to target this guy. So he's not going to attack us this round because he started not on our sheet. We are going to hit him. If we roll a 1 or a 4, we will kill him. Anything else in the combat will end. So this is the 2-round cheesy ambush strategy. And unfortunately, nothing happens, and it turns out the combat is over, and we don't get... Because I was looking for the bounty. I thought, well, we can get a quick bounty point by doing that. We don't, and we are done with our day. Now, here's the thing. I mean, it's a 1/3 chance. How much are we, how much are we invested in a 1/3 chance to get a point? Our expected value is 1/3 of a point. But I think I'm going to do that again. I think I'm going to move. I'm going to move out. So I'm going to move into the valley. I'm going to do 2 hides. I'm going to move back to the bats. Now, if I fail 2 hides, I am dead. It's a 10% chance of dying, pretty much. But I'm going to do it. We're going to do it. And then we're going to try that 2-round thing again, because if we do get it, it's worth a point, and it's worth a 5 gold piece trophy. So we could use both of those. So now, of course, the funny. So let's see what happens. So remember, day 7, there is gray magic in every clearing. On day 14, so it is bats and trolls. So the interesting thing is, this guy comes off the bat comes off the map. We move out. We move back in after 2 hides. Let's roll the 2 hides. And we can definitely use not a 6. And we did get a not a 6. And then the bat reappears. Right there. So we are going to do what we did last time. We take the bat aside. Sweet talk it a little bit for a round. Ready our weapon. Don't even need to play a chit or 2. And then we're hoping for a 1 or 4 on a 1/3 chance. Bam, we get a 1. So that is sweet. So the bat, round 2, we're going to jump out of the woods, stab him, take our surprise attack there, and we're going to kill the bat. So that's going to do a couple things for us. That is going to score us a bat bounty. So that is 1 VP on the last day of the bounty, by the way. So that is our 3rd card point. That gives us 5 points in total. He's also worth 3 prowess. That doesn't get us, that's okay. Now, I actually haven't written this up here. Let me do that. 23. I have 10 gold. I have 1 great treasure and no spells. Let me put my little scoreboard up my name. That's pretty small. I probably can't really see it well, but I also get a trophy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that guy, and I'm going to paste him and put him. I'm going to shrink it and put it here. So I was always, like, well, what do I do with trophies? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put him in my inactive things right there. And he's a little tiny guy, and every time I kill something, I'm going to make him tiny and put him in my pocket. So if I can get back to any dwelling, I'm going to turn him in for $5. $30 is a point, and $60 is 2 points. So that's pretty good. So that's the end of week 2. Bat-bound Inquisition goes away. I scored 1 point on Inquisition. I scored 1 point on Bat Bounty. The tiles have enchanted. The wagon's going to stay out there, but I am not touching that wagon, probably. The poison pool stays there. I have scored 5 points out of my 10 required to be declared the ultimate champion of Magic Realm. I mean, I think that's obvious. And I have not yet completed one of my own quests. I mean, that's not bad. That's not a bad score. I scored Riddle Game, Inquisition, and Bat Bounty, so 3 cards. I have 23 prowess, so that's 1 point of prowess. And I have 1 great treasure under my belt right there. There you go. That's where we stand after 2 weeks. It's not been a bad game so far. So let's see if we can't actually get some movement here. So where are we on the map? We are here. The guardhouse is close. So if we need to hit the guardhouse to turn in the bounty, that is one thing we can do. We do not hate the guard. You probably can't see it because it's sitting sort of awkwardly on my screen. We like the rogues, the scholar, and the soldiers, and don't like the bash cars. They are not our buddies. But the guard is neutral. Now I don't want to fight the guard, but I can run from the guard. So I think now the only problem with going to the guard is that it's, to a degree, it's a little bit of a dead end. Like there's nothing down here that we want. We can't get to the caves this way. We have to go around. And indeed, we'd have to go through the borderland to get to the cave. I think what I want to do is I want to hide here and search 3 times. Let's try to pop Navigator. So I'm trying to get the Navigator going. If I roll a 4, I will get Bones. The problem is I don't have anything to give the giant. I don't want to give the Dragon Fang necklace up. I think it is, as it stands. I mean, it's an equal trade. It's a point for a point, but the Dragon Fang necklace has some utility. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Let's draw 3 of these and see what happens, though. So it is the beginning of the week. So let's fire 3 of these up for day 15 before we actually roll on day 15. Oops. Let's not drag the whole deck, though. We get the Thieves Guild in the Ruin. Okay. So let's pull the guild. We get a Plague of Wolves, and we get a Dead Adventurer. So let's first roll the guild, and let's pull out a Dead Adventurer. DA, right there. Okay. So first thing is the guild. The guild is in Ruin 6. That's the crappy Ruin hex clearing, since it's the cave. And you have to succeed at a hide phase. That's the new, right? That's how we roll. So the Thieves Guild appears in a random clearing in the ruins. The first character to execute a hide phase in the clearing gets a VP and 5 gold, so it's not terrible. Let's roll for the Dead Adventurer. The Dead Adventurer appears in 3/6, Caves 6. Wow, that is far away. So I'm just going to take him off the board just because the counter is all I need to keep that in my head. And then a Plague of Wolves in a random clearing. Let's see where that is. 2/1, Cavern 1. These are Cave Wolves. I'm going to grab these. I'm going to copy them. and then Cavern 1. Paste them there. Again, wow, what is going on there? There we go. That is awkward to get to. So I'm not super thrilled about any of those. Let's think about this. Well, I think that what that means is that doesn't change my plan. My plan is hide, search 3 times right here. And then what that's going to do is hopefully give me my second path for navigator. So let me roll a 2. So that's serpents. That is going to have something appear. So I would like to have been, I would like to be hidden. I am not hidden. That's bad, actually. Let's roll. At least we can get the search in, maybe. No, 4-1 is 1 search is a fail. 2 searches are fails. Come on. Nope. 3 searches are fails. We find nothing. Slither happens, and this is going to be a rough haul. This is not a good fight for us. In unhidden, it is a terrible fight for us. So I don't even need to put them on the board. They're coming right to my sheet. So there we go. So we got these 2 guys on our sheet. They are super unpleasant. Our weapon is unreadied. They're heavy. They're armored. They are everything I do not like about. So I can play a move 4 and an H5. That's not an issue. But since I can only target one of these, there's a 1/3 chance of dying any given round, and I can't undercut. So I cannot quickly get to these guys. If I had time to cast poison, I could cast poison, and one of them would flip, and then I could play this M3 and kill one. But this particular fight is not good for me. I need to get lucky on this one and get a kill. And then I need both of them to flip and miss me, or some combination thereof where I can run. So let's get a 1 or a 4 here. 2. 2 is okay. So that's round 1. Nothing has happened. Does he flip? He does. And does he flip? He does. And there you go. So not quite as bad. So I am going to, at that point in time on round 2, I'm going to play this move M3, and I'm going to get out of dodge, because I think that is a loser without poison. And I can run either direction. That is a great question, sir. We are not finding these paths or passages, are we? There's just no possible way Navigator's going to get done. And Trinket is not getting done because we haven't found anything. Like it is all bad. The nice thing is the Thieves Guild counts as a dwelling for turning your crap in, turning your quests in. So I think we run backwards. I think we run backwards, and we are done with our day. So, all right, we lucked out there a tiny bit, so I'm certainly glad with that. I wish I'd have found that damn path, though. So the first move has to be a 4, move 4. Our second move can be a hide, which is going to be a hide. We're going to move into the spider. And then I think we're going to move into, what is it, 3. The spider is not as dangerous, even unhidden. He's a little bit easy to deal with. Two of them, not so much. Let's get a monster roll for the day. They do not stay flipped. Actually, they do flip over. I thought I flipped them. I just did. Nope. I'm sorry. See, you cannot learn anything from me. It is a bad scene. Giants and trolls, and we are going here and then here. Let's see if we get blocked by our spider buddy. We do not, and then we end up here instead. And done. That is the day. So the main danger we have is this guy. Strangely enough, with poison, this guy is an easy kill. I'm going to put easy in quotes because we have to let him hit us. He's an easy kill if he hits us. So he wounds us once, he flips over, then we can play our H4 to kill him if we have poison on. So hidden, we would cast poison, miss him round one, let him hit us round one, he wounds us, then we stab him. It would be sort of a thing where he's coiled around us and he opens his mouth and then we stab him through the mouth, right? It's a little bit of a Harry Potter moment there. Beowulf, all the myths and legends of so he is a weirdly, but hidden is important. Without being hidden, well, that's not actually true. Well, it is sort of true because we do want to be able to write. So you can't. So you'd have to, and your encounter step, you'd be casting on round one. So you wouldn't be able to ready the weapon if you were unhidden. So you'd have to not be hit then. So you'd have to play it a little different, and it might get super dicey. There would be a death chance in there if you were unhidden. Hidden, it is sort of a weird auto win. All of those. But yeah, right. So it's very. I'll save my commentary maybe a little bit for a little later here. But it was very interesting because I was watching some Magic Realm other folks play. I was watching some old videos, and some people were playing and reviewing, and it was interesting to see some different reviews, right? Because there's a lot of people that love this game, and a lot of people that are very lukewarm in this game, and so it's interesting to see sort of the different views of all that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to 6 for my next day, and I'm going to do a hide right there. So that's my day. Hopefully we'll succeed on the hide. That will score me the Thieves Guild. So I will become an honorary member. I'll get my honorary degree from the Thieves Guild. I am hoping really to not roll the Serpent, but if I do, I think I have it handled. We got goblins instead, and there are no goblins in hold on. There might be goblins in Mudville. That stinks a little bit. So we're going to move to the Thieves Guild. We are going to not succeed at the hide. So, geez, okay. And then we get Patter Cave. So that's gonna do it. So these guys are gonna pop, and they're gonna pop here. That makes that clearing a little bit harder to get through because we can't run from the goblins. They will cut us down. So the goblins are a terrible, terrible fight for our bard. They do not like Wonderwall. That's what I get from that. they are not happy with that. So I'm picking. Yeah, I was joking. Thinking about playing the bard, and I'm like, yeah, it's the guy at the college party who pulls out the guitar and starts playing on the couch, and he's playing the guitar, and you're like, oh, it's that guy. And if you guys are that guy, I apologize. But you know, it's that guy. He's playing the guitar. You know he's going home with someone because he's super charming to the ladies. But you're sitting there drinking your red Solo cup beer, just going, okay. Um, so God dang it, we did not score what I wanted to score there. We did not get. So that unfortunately really means we have to sort of blow a day. So, but I do end. Now, here's the thing: I do end a day at a dwelling. So I am going to figure out which ones of these I don't want. I don't want trinkets. I just can't. So I'm going to toss trinket. I think I'm going to toss navigator, even though I'm one of three. I think it's going to burn too many days. I'm going to toss them all. I'm going to toss them all. We're going to go for a wholesale route here of the quests. We're going to draw 3 new ones. I'm going to shuffle the deck for good luck. And toss them. And then we're going to flip these guys. Treasure Cache in the Lost Castle, and Archaeological Dig in the Ruin, and then Fan Club. Now, Fan Club is a little bit far from me, so I'm a little bummed about that one. The dig isn't bad. So we're going to have a dig site, and that is in the ruins. So that's cool. Fan Club is at the house. That's not great. And then Treasure Cache in the Lost Castle is okay. We just have to get back there and wend our way through all the damn monsters. So top member of the rogue at the house, waiting for us to come back so he can get our autograph. The dig site in the ruins, we need to roll a die. 6. Well, there you go. So we're gonna luck out here. Not really, because we have to search now in this hexed in this clearing too, so that sort of sucks, frankly. So it's ruins 6. But that's a lot closer to being able to score than what I was looking at with the 3 cards I had. So I think we're actually set to get 2 points here. But you got to be super damn careful because. So we're still going to hide and we're going to search. So this is the problem, and this is how I see this going. So you look at where I'm at. I'm trying to hide. I'm trying to search. If I do a hide, I'm going to get the Thieves Guild. If I succeed at a search, I'm going to do the dig. Here's the problem. 2 phases a day. I've got to do a search. The search is about 25-ish% or thereabouts. And you got to sort of hide because on a 6, you're getting gang tackled by 6 goblins, if not more. I'm going to spend the rest of the week here. Like, the thieves are going to be like, is this guy ever going to go home? All right. You're sitting there, your feet are up on the couch, searching for the dig. Now the nice thing is you get a small treasure, which is too bad because I threw the trinkets out. So, but whatever. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. It's day 18, right? We are hiding. We are searching. Let's get a monster roll. We're hoping it's not a 3 because that makes this all clunky. 6 bats. You know what? I'm in a cave. Bats are great. So let's hide. We succeed. That's great. So what does that mean? That means we're going to score a Thieves Guild. So we'll put the guild here. That's our 4th card. And our 6th overall point right now without anything else happening. So not bad. And now we're going to search. We're looking for a 4 or a 1. We're looking for this roll exactly again. I always get these kind of roll. And the 6. No, nothing. So okay, that's fine. Now I'll keep the Thieves Guild. I'm going to put it up here to note that I have scored the point. There's no more points to be scored, but if I want to see what I can buy there, I'm going to put that there. And these 3 are the ones that are eligible for points. So what is good is at least I got this out of the way. I still need to hide and search though. Yeah, so okay, day 19. I'm gonna regret this, I think. But getting that 7th point would be sweet. It's a 1. So dragons, there are no dragons here, and so we are hiding. We fail the hide, which doesn't matter today. And we've saved it. No, we saved nothing for this roll. So we fail at the hide and search. We're going to hide and search again because any of these is, because any day is potentially a deadly day if we don't have this ready to roll. But that's day 20, and it's getting a little dicey now all of a sudden. Monster roll for 20. Goblins. So it's a good thing that we're hidden. That's why the dig being here sounds like a good thing because it's like, oh, it's right in your clearing. That's great. You lucky. Nah, it's cave clearing. It sucks. We are going to hide, and this one's super important. We do hide. And now we're going to search, and this is important. Yes, we find the dig site. Perfect. That's what we want. So we get the dig. Dig is done. So we're going to score our 5th point. Our 5th card, I should say. Our 7th overall point. So let's get the scorecard up and running there. Now, in the meantime, and we get a small treasure. So we're going to discard this card. Meantime, the goblins show up. So these goblins appear. Goblins with axe come to the Thieves Guild. The thieves hired them to get rid of me because I was overstaying my welcome, is the problem. And spear goblins appear here. So we're done there. We do get a small treasure at the dig. What is it? 1 VP, 5 gold. So we actually do get 5 gold also. That is not enough to score, but that is enough to at least get me on the board. And let's see what this small treasure is. And maybe it's another great treasure. It is, oh, womp womp. Okay. So it is Flowers of Rest. So the nice thing is I'm going to fall asleep as I turn this in because it's still daylight. I fall the hell asleep and I am done. And I am going to leave these here because I want nothing to do with these. Or I do. That's a good question. Because they don't screw you up in combat. Like you're not fighting a fight. They only work before sunset, effectively, right? So that is during the day. So if any time during the day you fatigue a chit, you're done. They do make certain things hard to do. We couldn't do the poison pool, for instance, because we'd fall asleep as soon as we did it. Having said that, gold magic does not interest me. I'm not going to carry these around. We're going to leave these in the Thieves Guild. We are sleeping. Goblins are still here, and we were hidden, by the way. We did hide today. And we're done. We're done with the day. We scored our dig site. The only thing I'm bummed about is that doesn't actually that treasure is not useful to us. If it was something super useful to us, or if it was a great treasure, or if that would be super awesome. So let's take a quick look at where we're at here and which direction we're going to go. So it is going to be day 21. We're going to have purple in every clearing. We do get a card. We get a gold source. So just to sort of rub it in, we're going to get a gold source, which is useless to me. The game's like, you don't want gold? Here's some gold. So here's okay. So it's day 21. Now usually I would save this for beginning of the week. So the question is, where are we gonna go? Where is the goal, right? Um I don't know that it matters in terms of, which I can either go this way or this way. So be it. But where are we going to try to get to? That's why I'm not super happy with. So wait a minute. So we scored dig, we got the thing, we fell asleep, but now it's the end of the day. So that's the nice thing. So end of day, I'm actually going to turn this in then. There you go. So we don't have to. We completed the quest. We get big game instead. I like big game a lot better than gold source. But we have to declare what size creature we would like to kill. That is a good question, and everything is a little dicey on the board right now. I would say traditionally heavy's our best bet. So that's what to think about. That is the key. So let's say we said the problem with big game is we have to get back to a dwelling to turn it in. Just killing the monster is not enough. You have to get back to a dwelling to tell the tale. As you can see, the dwellings are a little bit. I mean, the Thieves Guild will be the closest dwelling, and it's a little bit dicey right now for us. If it wasn't so, then what I would say is we would declare a medium, go straight to the ghosts, kill the ghosts, and come right back and score that point, and that would be our 8th point. We can get that done like first, in 2 days. As it stands, I am not super sure what we're going to do. So let's, and I do apologize. Occasionally, this bogs down because. So okay, so let me get to. So let me. So it was interesting to me. Let me tell you about because this sort of segs into my what I was watching. So I was watching Callendale, and these are like 4-year-old videos, and this guy does a whole bunch of playthroughs of a whole bunch of old board games that I love, by the way. This is totally in my wheelhouse of board games, like right big. He's playing like oh god, Empires in Arms, and you know what I mean, like he's playing big epic mega games by himself, and he's playing all the sides, right? So big war games and stuff like that, and he plays them and then sort of reviews them. This was a game that he played. It was like 4 years ago. It's on, if you search Magic Realm board game, you're going to see his video. And ultimately, his review is, didn't love it. I never got the feeling of being a big hero. I felt that it was very mechanical and very, what do you want to say, that there was always an optimal move, right? It was a puzzle to solve. There was an optimal solution. If you didn't take it, you were sort of screwed. And if you did take it, that was it. That you were, and he didn't like it. And so he said, so there wasn't really any tactical decisions I was making. And here's the thing. So what I realize is he's right. He's absolutely correct. Every point in this game, every monster, every clearing, you can go, yep, if I go here, I should do this. And that's the best chance I have to win. If I go here, I should do this. That's the best chance I have to win. And so there really aren't any decisions in combat, really. There is a best move statistically, and you might see it or you might not see it. Or you might see it too late or whatever, right? And he's right. Magic Realm as a tactical sort of decision making game is not that interesting. Having said that, where it is super interesting is this. It's the big scale, right? It's actually sort of, well, it is Jim, but it's simulative on a strategic scale, right? Like you're not dicing out these combats with miniatures or right. You could go right here and go, okay, Bard versus 6 goblins, put them on a hex map and fight them out like in Titan, right? I don't know if you've ever played Titan, but right, it has a strategic map, and then when you fight, you actually go into a smaller hexy map and you fight these, and it could do that. But it doesn't. The game would take 90,000 hours if you did that. And that's not what it's about, right? Um, it is effectively a strategic simulation of a fantasy role playing campaign, right? Now a skewed one a little bit because you're playing like one dude, right? You know what I mean, or whatever, or maybe two dudes or something. So it's not a D&D type campaign, but it is literally a strategic simulation of that hero's journey fantasy novel, right? Yeah, I think Titan's a great game. It's a fussy game. Like it's Titan's one of those games where you go, well, this design is not super tight, but it is fun. You know, you know what I mean? Like it's not like the best designed game where you go, oh, this game is so well designed. No, it's a game that's just meant to take 8 hours and you just slog through it. And the slogging is fun. So it's sort of weird that way. It's a classic freaking board game. Um, but it's funny because I'm like, but the criticism laid into. I love the Dune board game. I think the Dune board game is pretty interesting. Um, Although it does lend itself to just that last minute I allied with you and then we won because right. It has that sort of vibe to it. But that's part of the fun, I think. Um, I tell you what game I would love to get a copy of, which I don't have a copy of, and I know you can buy the reprint. Warrior Knights. My understanding is Warrior Knights is actually a very very good sort of in the vein of a Twilight Imperium Eclipse, which Eclipse is a great board game by the way. It's a very good sort of version of that 4Xe kind of strategic level game that has some neat twists and turns to it. And I was thinking of buying a copy at some point. But anyway, so it's interesting to see sort of his take on it. And he's like, yeah, I don't feel heroic. I don't feel like I'm making those kind of decisions and so on. And I'm like, well, I'm making a big decision right now. Like day 21 is a critical point. It's going to determine whether I win or not based on my assessment of the board situation, the overall board situation, right? Not any individual clearing. Actually, I've already assessed all the clearings. They all suck, except for this one. The demon I can kill if I'm hidden, and I can cast poison. But you know what I mean. I've already assessed every clearing. What the actual decision is where do I go this last 8 days to get the last 3 points? And I'm making that the decision based on my limited knowledge of the board and what's left of the board and my current situation. And I find that awesome. I find that's great. I'm going to pick a strategy. I'm going to see it through and then see how the dice fall, of course, and then see if I was right. I'm going to make some assessments of the board, and then I'm going to see if I was correct. And that's what I love about Magic Realm. It's not a great, tactical simulator. It's not a great heroic fantasy sim. It's a strategic level hardcore D&D campaign sim, but strategic level. Um, so it's just fascinating to me. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. That's a wild digression in but it struck me because I just watched his video yesterday and today, and it struck me how different our assessments of the game, the same game is, because I look at this and go, well, yeah, but I mean, you're not supposed to do any of that stuff. That's not what Magic Realm was written for. Magic Realm was written so that I look at this board like we're looking at it right now and go, well, I need to go to the guardhouse and I need to blah 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 and I need to do this other thing. And that's how I'm going to win. Done. And let's see if that works. And that's sort of what I need to do is assess the board right now and figure out sort of how can I score my points. So I have big game, I have fan club, and I have cash in the castle. So I could head back. So that's one option, right? One option is you head back. So if you look, this is a whole day to get out of here. So that would be day 21. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, we'd end up here. We'd end up here probably. And then so that's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Probably in 4 days, I could end up at the Lost Castle. So day 21, 22, 23, 20, day 24, I could end up at the Lost Castle. Let's say 2 days to search. That's day 26. Day 27, I could hit up the fan club, and that would be 9 points out of 10. I wouldn't quite make it. Unless I get lucky and this treasure that I pull out of the castle is a great treasure. And on the way, so I don't necessarily have to declare big game yet. So maybe I don't declare yet, and maybe I see if we pop anything on the way. Well, it says choose a size your core, so we have to say it, I suppose, now. So that is true. So let's say tremendous. So my plan is we head this way, pretty much the way we came, back through the mountain. We're going to try to avoid this because this is a death tile potentially for us. So we run through here. We go to Mountain 4. We go into the high pass. We maybe we spend an extra day in here hoping to draw him. If we're hidden and we draw him, we can kill him by casting poison and use our fight M3. That's big game. So that's potentially a point. We stop at the castle. That's a second point. We get a treasure, so we have to search there. So we could also blow every day there, as well. Searching. Then we run into fan club. That's 3 points, and that's the winner right there. So that's the plan. So let's execute that plan then, and see what's what. So first day we're gonna move, and then we're gonna hide, and we're gonna move to, I think, 4. Is it 4? Yeah, I mean, and this is funny because it's one of those things where I laugh because I realize really all that whole rant, that whole pontification that I just did really just comes down to the fact that I cannot see anyone not loving this game. So it sort of offends me a little bit. I mean, I totally understand it, but but it's one of those where you go, really, you didn't like it? Come on, man, it's a great game. So it's day 21. We are rolling 2 dice for our deadly day 7s here, and we get 1 and 4. So that's interesting because that's going to pull a lot of crap off the board, right? Well, not a lot. It's going to pull these guys off the board. So the horde, and then these guys come off the board. So that's really it. Just the dragons. it lightens this up a little bit, but we are not fighting this guy ever. Like this is a there is almost no one for which this is not a really deadly fight. You have a move, because you can't really undercut him. If you can undercut him, you're a missileer. You have a 30. I mean, you have a 33% chance of getting hit by him every time. So yeah, not ideal. The heavy characters, yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird game. It is weird. They're just and here's a question for you. I have never found any of the board games that we could talk about in terms of a fantasy epic board game, right? So like Runebound, Talisman, Return of the Heroes, I don't know what else. And I'm not talking dungeon crawlers because dungeon crawlers they don't even count, but I'm talking the sort of overland, right? I've watched a lot of them. Dark, what is it? Dark Alliance? No, I don't know what the hell it's called. Not Dark Alliance. I've Seventh Continent, like all these games. They do some of these. Mage Knight is the big one that people go, well, that's like Magic Realm. Like superficially is, but it doesn't feel the same. I have not found a game which scratches this itch, right? Mage Knight, I think it's a great game. I don't love it. I feel like it's playing cards. Like, whereas this, I do not feel like, oh, I'm just rolling dice and doing. Mage Knight, I feel like, okay, I'm playing my hand. I got dealt a set of cards. I get the same thrill out of Mage Knight as I do playing Pinochle or Bridge, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's sort of how that feels to me. It's you have a hand, you have a situation. What's the best set of players? This is very similar in that sense, and yet I still don't feel the same way, and I'm not sure why that is. So, okay, so let's. So now with that said, we're going to go here, and then we're going to see if we hide. And we don't, but I don't think that matters because we're not going to get dragons, and we're not going to get. If that was a 3, we are dead. I have heard of Dragons Down, but I've never seen one. I've seen Euthia. Excuse me. I've seen Euthia. I've heard of Dragons Down because I am searching for another board game to scratch this itch. I am thinking of writing one. I would not do it justice by any stretch. But, and again, it wouldn't be like this. I mean, it would be different, and it probably wouldn't scratch at it either, strangely enough. It probably would sort of screw up in some way. So that's day 21 for us. We are done with the third week, and we are 7 points in. We have 3 points to get in our last week. Now, the events is the big randomizer, right? We have 3 events coming the last week. It could be like, bam, everything's in a mountain, or boom, go to this valley, and then we'd be like, oops, our plan has immediately fallen apart. But let's see what these 3 events are. Let's shuffle for good luck. We get the Rift, the Monastery in the Mountain, aha, and the Archmage's Tower, which is new. I've not seen this one. Wrote a lot on this one. So, the Archmage's Tower appears in a random clearing, so in the whole map. The first hero to end a phase here rolls a d6 to determine the situation at the tower. 1, the mage, an apprentice trying to prove himself, attacks you. I didn't make this chit, by the way, so I should have made this chit. He has a L3 star attack, or an L3 star attack and a summon. First time the mage starts around on his dark side, he casts Summon Elemental instead of attacking. Minions attack. Roll on the Summon Elemental chart, and the hero faces that creature. An experiment gone awry. 2 heavy spiders attack. Trinket needed. You must trade a small treasure to gain entrance. Quiet. All is quiet, and you may enter. The first person who enters gets a VP. And services available are pay 1 gold and then you rest magic feaster, or mentor the mages know 3 random spells. I think this is not useful to me, and I don't think I made a chit for the tower. Oh, I did make a chit for the tower. Well, look at me. Holy crap! You would think I was thinking of doing this. So let's pull the mage tower. Let's pull the monastery and the rift. So let's place these guys. So the rift only appears in 6 possible tiles. 5. He appears in the cavern. Well, that's a bummer. Cavern 5. Let's put him in cavern 5. Cavern is that one. 5. I mean, at least it's close to the entrance, but it's the weird entrance. And we could theoretically get there, but I think the rift is sort of out of my purview right now. The monastery, though, we're all about it. Monastery is in 2. Mountain 2. There we go. We need a little bit of luck. We got a little bit of luck. And then the Archmage's Tower is 7-5. High Pass 5. And again, that's so there you go. That's our last week that we're set up for. Nice thing is the monastery, we're just going to take a point. So that's good because that takes a little bit of pressure off. Technically now we don't have to kill anything to get that 10th point. Because the monastery, I believe, is just you get there. The first hero to reach this place, bam, done. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to get there. So 1, 2, 3, and we are going to hide. Now, does the monastery do anything else for us? 2 type 1 spells, removes curses. We're good. We're just going to... So I'm not going to stay there. I'm just going to go to here. So we are going to hide. Move. Now, do we have to end a day there? Or do we just end a phase? Reach this place. Done. So reach this place sounds like just get there. So we're going to move to 1. We're going to move to 2. We're going to move to mountain 4. So move, 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 mountain 4. We have scored the monastery. I don't think I spelled that right. Moneystery. I don't think I spelled that right still. Jesus Lord. Okay. Okay. You know, monks live there. Okay. So this is day 22. The danger die can go away. Oops, we just pulled a spider off of something. Danger die can go away. Let's get a monster roll. I have heard of Dragons Down. I'm interested in seeing it. You know, it's like I don't mind Runebound, for instance. I think the actual combat is clever. If I was going to make a game, it would have something akin to that kind of fighting style, I think. You know, so we got giants and trolls, and we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. And are we hidden or not at the end of the day? We are not hidden. That's okay because nothing appears. So, end of the day, monastery is scored. That's our 6th card. That's our 8th point. So that's good. That's edging us closer to victory here. And it's day 22. So day 23, day 24, day 25, 26, and 27 we could spend here. And then we have 1 day. I mean, I don't love kickstarting games because when I spend money for a thing, I tend to want to own it at that point in time, or at least have use of it, as opposed to kickstarting something like I was looking at Euthia, right? And although I don't think I'm going to get Euthia, like I've watched a lot of playthroughs, and ultimately I'm like, wow, that actually seems ultimately fairly dull and a little bit repetitive, I think, strangely enough. And it doesn't sort of but it might be fun to do on stream. I might or on videos of. So I think I'm going to hide and move into the high pass. And I think we're going to hide and move into the high pass again the next day. So that's day 23. So I think we're going to slow play this. In case we get this guy, we're going to slow play it and hope to catch him and kill him. Because I don't mind getting big game. The extra point would be fine. We get 2. Oh, interesting. Now the hide roll is super damn important. And of course, we frickin' fail it. So we pop in, he jumps us. There we go. So, okay, let's see how this looks then. So if he flips, yeah, okay, all right. Okay. We got this. So he is not fast enough to stop us casting. He is going to hit us with Power of the Pit, but he's not fast enough to stop us casting. So on round 9, we are going to cast Poison, and we are going to play a move, and he's going to undercut us, and he's going to hit us with Power of the Pit. But we will have a medium star weapon, which is going to be able to... But we'll need to survive 1 round, because our weapon will not be readied in round 2. If we were hidden, we would cast Poison, we would ready our weapon, and we would... Actually, we ready our weapon first, because that doesn't cause a... That's not going to cause a roll. Then we would ready our weapon. Then we'd cast Poison. Then we would attack and kill him. If we were hidden, this is an auto kill. Not hidden, we have a 33% chance of dying. So round 1, well, a little more than 33% chance, I should say, because he's going to hit us with Power of the Pit. So we cast Poison, because Poison's the only way that we're going to get. So we're, dripping that poison on our sword. Well, the demon fires Power of the Pit, and this could so suck. 4's going to suck. 3's going to suck. 2 sucks. Literally 4, 3, 2, 1 suck. We're dead, I think, any way. Because if all, because obviously all asterisks are wounded, we're done. Terror, light and medium strength move and fight chits, we're done. And carried away, we're done. Fiery chasm, we're done. We're looking for a 5 or 6, please. Okay, here we go. 5 or 6, baby. 5, forget. All magic chits are fatigued. Well, I've got news for you, pal. All my magic chits are already fatigued. So, bam, he hits us. We forget the thing we've already forgotten. Poison is cast. He flips. And now it is round 2. So let's take a quick look and see. I do not have a fight chit that is faster than his move chit, so I cannot ready my weapon right now anyway. So that's fine. That's okay. So we have to play a move, which we're going to play a move. I am not going to play a fight chit to attack. I'm going to play a fight chit. So I'm going to ready my weapon, but I don't get to attack this round. So I'm going to miss him deliberately is largely what that means. And it really just means that if I get a 1 or a 4, he's going to hit me and tear me apart, which brings this unfortunate game to an end. If he does not hit me, then I'm going to flip my sword and I will kill him next round. So we're looking for not 1 and not 4, and we get a 1, and we are dead. And that's it. Demon hits us, he kills us, and there's nothing we can do. Is there a play we could make? Let's take a quick... So could we play... If we play... Well, we could play, actually, right? No, I can't, because this is not flipped. Doesn't matter. So no matter what happens, this is not flipped. And his attack is going to be faster, so we are dead. So the bard is killed on day 23 owing to a missed hide roll. And I mean, a 1/3, right? So the missed hide roll, so let's think about it. Missed hide roll, 30% chance of that. This roll here, the power of the pit could have killed us. And then this is a 1/3 chance of killing us. And, well, as someone on the internet once said, you can't trick math. So the chance of me living had become vanishingly small. So yeah, so day 23, the bard is killed. He had 8 points. I say we subtract 2, so he essentially scores 6 points. That would be his final score. That's a loss. It's not a bad loss, and effectively he shoulda, coulda, woulda won. I think I really, I thought that was a fun game. I thought he actually did very well too. For the board situation, I thought he did very well, and I really, really thought that monastery popping was the winner. I thought that monastery pop, I got an extra point. We hide move, so we succeed. Obviously, we succeed. We'd have killed him. So let's mentally run this in our head, right? So we kill him. That's done. Big game is ready to pop. We go here. We have 2.5 days to effectively search. We get a search. So that's a 9th point. We turn big game in for a 10th point. We do fan club for our 11th point, and we walk off into the sunset with 11 points. A very, very, very stalwart, serious, not serious, but a very solid win. As it stands, the demon tears us in 2, and that's it. We lose. So that was good. That was a fun game. So yeah, I am looking for any games. If you have any games that exist for sure, as opposed to say being Kickstarters, or that you can point me to that capture some of this essence, aside from say Magic Realm Light, which is like a print roll and play. Because if I'm going to play Magic Realm Light, I'll play this effectively. Then I would love to hear it, because I would totally grab a copy of this. I've been searching for the Magic Realm alike for 10, 20 years now. I have not found anything like it. I do like Runebound a little, but I don't get it out on the table that often. And I mean, it's okay. I like the combat. I don't know if you know Runebound's combat, right? You toss a set of tokens, and then based on the images on the tokens, right? It's right. You make combos and do different things to then make your attacks. I was thinking that a die system with something similar, where you had dice with different, you had attack phases and defense phases, and you activated those to activate powers that your character then had. You could make a bunch of different characters with that, and I thought that would be sort of fun and maybe a cool game in and of itself. Yeah, and Runebound First did not have that combat system. I think that is, I think this is like a 2nd or 3rd edition. The token fighting, and the fighting's pretty good, but actually the rest of the game sort of leaves me cold. Return of the Heroes is, again, it's okay. Like, I play with my kids, my kids when they were young, but my kids now would just prefer to play Magic Realm, strangely enough. So that's not a big winner. Talisman blows. It's a terrible game, but I will play Talisman multiplayer, a big multiplayer, because it feels sort of like almost a Mario Party-esque kind of thing, where you're screwing your friends. Another bug. So we must have got. Must have let a bunch of bugs in when I had the window open and the screen up there. So I had to look around and. So anyway, I've watched playthroughs of Euthia. Euthia looks big and bombastic, and there's 1,000 pieces, and stuff's cool. But ultimately, as I watched more of it, you're talking a game that kickstarts for like not kick, but you pre-ordered for because 200 to 400 and some dollars. Like, well, I mean, I don't know. And ultimately, I was like, I don't know that I think this is. I don't think it's scratching that itch, right? So, I mean, Dragon's Down, I'm at least interested in, of course, but I don't know when that's coming or how much that's going to cost, or you know. And the other thing is, all these Kickstarters, you go, well, I'm going to give you some cash. And you're like, yes, we'll deliver December 2023, and you're like, no, that that sucks. Okay. So yeah, I've not found a game that I can point to that gives me this sort of play. There's some games that do similar things. You can in Mage Knight, you can hire someone, you can kill monsters, you can uh, 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 trade and negotiate with folks. You can burn the temple to the ground, um, and I think that's all cool. But it just doesn't. It just does not feel correct to me. It feels like I'm playing a hand of cards, whereas this does not. So, well, and and that's funny because this came out and without that association a little, right? Because it came out right when D&D sort of hit up and got popular, and I think this was sort of Avalon Hill's answer to that fantasy game popularity. Um, I mean, I'll hit points are what they are. I mean, they're a quick abstraction for your plot your plot immunity effectively, right? I think a system could use hit points and be okay. I think what it really comes down to is what are the variables that you are using in your fighting. Yeah, like the chits are really cool because and I've had this when I've written tabletop RPG games. I've homebrewed a bunch of tabletop RPG games, and the fact of the matter is, when you're actually trying to do a combat system that you want to, make a thing, right? That make them a mainstay of the game, then you do have to think about, well, what are all the levers a player can pull to to get the best shot at this, right? So, you know, does your weapon have length? Does your weapon have a speed? Does your weapon have a damage? Does your weapon have a damage type? Does it perform better against certain things than armors than others? Is there is there some interaction with map? Is there some interaction with their powers? Right. So there's all these levers you can pull. D&D generally doesn't. I mean, pulls a couple levers typically, and doesn't have that many. Right. It's a more streamlined game. Whereas, I've seen systems which pull a lot more. I've written that those which pull a lot more levers, and you go, well, you have weapon length. Certain weapons don't do well if you're in a constrained hex, like that whole thing, right? There's a whole set of things you can pull. But it's not great for a board game. And I think Magic Realm hits so many of those levers for a board game, right? The weapon length is important, the weapon speeds are important, the chits all have speeds and fatigues and weights. So there's actually a ton of little levers you can pull. Now, again, I think the criticisms are correct that once you learn the system, you really are only going to pull one or two levers at any given time. There's a correct answer. And the answer is, yep, there is a correct answer. You can math the whole damn thing out. Um, but in fact, that's how I would make a computer player for combats in Magic Realm. I would probably say, well, given this situation, if I play every chit in every position, and Monte Carlo it. I would do a Monte Carlo simulation and go, well, what mass up? I wouldn't necessarily do that, in real time. We'd probably, but that's how you would sort of play your game and train your game to play, right? You'd say what happens, and it would figure out the lever to pull based on 1,000 plays of that combat. Um, and so, and that's fine. That's a valid criticism, but the goal is to finish combat in like a minute, not an hour and a half. Like I've had D&D combats last hours, right? So anyway, I like the fight wound chits. I like the weapon systems. I like how they all interplay. I like how any one given item that you give any one character might change their game considerably. I like how two monsters in the same clearing is a totally different fight than one monster. Um, Yay for software developers. That's who would love this game. um, so I love all the little bits that you end up with and that you have in here. And like I said, a lot of games don't give you that. Like I said, the room bound combat system is sort of cool because you get a bunch of tokens. Those tokens have two sides, and one might be an attack, one might be defense, or one might be two attacks, and so you have powers that then change the tokens. When you buy an item, you get different tokens to add to your bounty of tokens that you throw into any given combat. And so I think Runebound, whatever edition I own, more than first, twiddles a lot of good bits in terms of combat, and I think the rest of the game's terrible. Like I think the rest of the game's just sort of boring. But the combat actually really does work, and the leveling works a little bit too. I think it does that very well. I like the fact that there's no leveling in Magic Realm to a degree. I mean, you can play a game that levels, but I like the fact that there really is no leveling. No, I would, if I made a board game, a Magic Realm like, I would probably have it leveled because I like games that level you too. I like to level up, but I do think that power creep is sometimes difficult to then manage. Right? You know what I mean? Like if you level up, then how do you keep the encounters interesting? Because you don't want the encounters to just scale up with the player. You want the player to get better, but you do want to potentially have encounters that now he thinks he can do, whereas he couldn't do them before. Like you want him to be doing something bigger and badder as he levels up, or else there's no point to leveling up, of course. But I love that discrete thing in Magic Realm where you don't necessarily level up, you just get a thing, and now that thing makes you able to handle this whole other set of situations. I mean, in an extent, that is leveling up, I suppose. But Sleeping Gods, I've never heard of Sleeping Gods. There is a game. There's a couple. Like I said, there's a couple games, and I think the problem is people just see the Dark Venture. Dark Venture is the game that people said, "Oh yeah, that's it's like Magic Realm, but it's so much simpler to get the same experience." And then I watched a bunch of playthroughs of it, and I'm like, this isn't the same experience. It's fine, but it is absolutely nowhere near the same experience as Magic Realm. Same thing with Euthia. It has sort of a superficial similarity, and it's not, you know, um, but I watched more and more of it and thought, I don't know. I became less. I mean, it's a grand spectacle for God's sake, but it's a grand spectacle that goes for between 200 and $400. Yeah, I agree with that. MR is flat in the sense that all monsters exist at the start. There's no DM keeping the game winnable. Yeah. Um, or challenging, quote unquote. There's no scaling up the difficulty as you go, right? Um, I don't know. And I think, as I look at a lot of stuff in Magic Realm though, I go, well, everything is a little bit balanced tightly, right? Oh, you are, but don't get me wrong, I think that to its credit and detriment, I think it's balanced so tightly that there is a point where you go, well, I think this is a solved math problem, right? Like if you added a character, well, then the chits should look like the other characters' chits a little bit, because there's a formula to it. And characters might have variations on that formula, or they might break that formula one or two places, and that's what makes them special, of course. And then the items break those formulas. And again, once you get, oh, I got the quick boots or whatever, and now you are in a totally different position. Um, yeah, I probably should have run from that demon, really, and just tried to hide again. Oh well, such is life. Um, I thought I had him. I thought I could do it. I thought, man, 2/3, I got this. The end of the game, 2/3 chance, get another point. Ah, man, screwed up. Screwed up. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've never found a board game that does this for me like this, and heck, I haven't found a lot of computer games that do this well. I mean, now computer games are usually a different beast, right? You have a number crunching machine crunching thousands, hundreds of numbers, and you can make all kinds of simulations and so on. And strangely enough, I would come back to this more than most of my computer games right now. Because I think you almost lose something with that level of simulation, um, in a weird way. So, I mean, if you play this as the role playing game, or like largely this is effectively Heroes of Might and Magic. If you ever played Heroes of Might and Magic or King's Bounty, this is King's Bounty. This is this is the board game. This is King's Bounty, the board game, but without large groups of but super. You don't play you don't play the tactical battles the same way, and the groups aren't as large size, right? um King's Bounty is all about, given the troops you have and the character you have, can I fight that stack or not? And this is, given the guy I have with the items I have, can I fight that stack of monsters or not? And so on. And then I move on to the next one. I move on to the next one. So strangely enough, I think King's Bounty is the closest game to Magic Realm that I have seen so far, and it's a computer game, of course. It might have been a board game, King's Bounty. Was there a board game, King's Bounty? Does anybody know? Now I'm going to look that up. There is a King's Bounty board game. Well, I'll be. It's got crap ratings, but there is a King's Bounty board game. I've never seen the board game. Oh, Task Force Games, man. Well, okay. Uh, eh, You know, maybe I'll get a copy of King's Bounty, the board game. I'm sure it's not that great, by the way. I think Task Force games always struck me as very hit or miss, by the way. I'm not was never a giant fan of a lot of Task Force games in history. So anyway, um, eh, so that's it. I mean, that was a good night. I feel bad that we died, but I thought it was a good run. It was an interesting death for sure. That was actually an interesting fight, right? Um, came down to that second round. If you had a readied weapon, you win, and if you don't have a ready weapon, you lost, pretty much. And that's where I was. Um, and he intercepted, and that was it. And then we talked about how no other game does what Magic Realm does. So I think I'm about done for the night then. Um, but let's do one more thing here. Let's look and see. I have to figure out, do I want to pop another character in? Or do we just play one of the ones we have? So I played the White Witch. Oops. Oh, jeez. I played the White Witch, and I have played. You meant to write A, not H. Where was that? Played the White Witch. Played the Bard. What do you mean, Jim? I'm sorry. I didn't quite understand that one. You can play the Chevalier, the Enchantress. The Inquisitor is sort of intriguing. Let's bring those three out. Maybe the Satyr. So the Inquisitor. Oh yeah, right. I did. I fat fingered it. Let's go back. Um, Strangely enough, yes, alerting the weapon would have actually fixed all that because if your weapon was alerted round before you went in, then um then we cast poison. Now we still have to suffer one power of the pit, which of course hide avoids all of it. So I mean, I still contend that hide's better than alert in any case where you can hide. But in this case, strangely enough, alert would have been a sure thing, whereas hide has a 30% chance of failure. So there you go. So that's something to think about if you really consider, right? You go, well, okay. Because what's the chance of rolling a 4 or less? So it's 1, 3. Yeah, geez, so hold on. What's the chance of rolling a 2? Yeah, so it's 1, 3, 6. Well, it's 1, 3, 5, 7. So it's 12, 15, 16, and 36. So the chance of rolling a 4, 3, 2, or 1 is 16 and 36, 8 eighteenths, 4 ninths. So the chance of dying to that power of the pit was 44%. And the chance of failing a hide roll is 30. So strangely enough, hide is the better option. Right? Hide's the better option. Because hide only fails about 30% of the time. And you would, if you succeeded in the hide, you would not have had to suffer a power of the pit. Um, so, so that's sort of where we're at. It would have been it's still better to because alert guarantees that your weapon's alerted, but it also guarantees that you have to eat a power of the pit. So there you go. Eh. So the Inquisitor thrusting sword casts type 1 and type 5 and maybe a type 7, but his spells are super clunky and slow. So he's sort of a weird bird. And I'm not sure how I would approach this. He is immune to demons. He rolls 1 on the read runes table and is immune to curses. So a great lore master, if you can find the shrine, he would be great to learn 2 spells in the shrine and the statue, or the places you would try to get to. So it's a very interesting spell type. Slow though. I mean, you're not, and that type 5 doesn't actually do you much good. It probably just powers black magic on a. There are no 7 black spells. Probably powers a 7 any, I think, is what I would do. And you do get 2 spells. So a type 1 and maybe a type 7 any might be good. And my 7 any, I don't know what my 7 any would be. I'd have to look at them. You know what? I know what my 7 any would be. Well, it depends. I mean, you'd have to consider. I don't know. You have to think about how you play him. So I'm thinking you could play him. You play the Inquisitor with the strategy would be you take, and I hate small blessing nowadays. You take small blessing. You take nudge as your 7 any, and again, nudge is as a custom spell. So this only works if you're playing custom. If you take nudge and small blessing, then that wish for strength comes up way more damn often, right? It comes up 20 in 36 chances. So as opposed to 30%, you go up, you kick above 50%. 10 18s, 5 9s, so 55%. So that's a huge deal, and you could have tremendous. You could essentially be the Inquisitor Barbarian, kicking the hell out of dudes. But that would be a very expensive cast every time because you would have to cast not only this, but then you would have these here, and that would just be a lot of resting for every time you pulled that off. So that's the Inquisitor. The Enchantress. She is the type 2 master, mistress of type 2. She has her own source of gray and no spell X requirement. So she can, in one phase, flip a tile. That is fascinating. I don't know. So her rest and getting spells back is just awesome. I don't know what the hell I would take with her, though, because type 2s, and she gets 3 of them, for crying out loud, are a little bit of a rough haul. I don't love a lot of the type 2 spells. In terms of, their sort of their combat, right? Their combat effectiveness or whatever. I mean, she might be the only character I would have take Stone's Fly on. And then at least you could, but again, I don't know that actually serves her very well. Hell, you might even take stuff like Warp Wood on her, which is again, it's one of those spells which I would never take on almost any other character, but I might consider it on her because you could then go to several different dudes. Now, none of them are the ones that you necessarily, but for instance, goblins. Now, I have to go look and go read, read up where this originally came from and see, because natives with these weapons turn to it says natives. So I should either change that to denizens or it's only natives, which makes it a lot less appealing because she could kill the spear goblins one at a time, just knifing the spear goblins um, with this. And it's always good, right? Every spell ought to be a solution to at least one problem. Obviously, Torchbearer, that's good for every character. I would probably summon animal is probably a good. Is probably good for her. Um, I don't. I blend in the background is. I'm not a super big fan. I'm not a super big fan of heal. I again. I think the chit changing spells are better in the base game when if you just took a bunch of points in spells and you just needed to learn spells. So here's the thing, right? So um summons, I found that I never took them because you're casting a spell, you are getting a summon because that summon occurs it comes in after the encounter phase and the monsters have already been assigned. They don't attack the round that you summon them, and neither can you. You can't do anything either. So I'm like, man, summons are sort of a trap because at what point do you have a whole round, unless you're hidden, to summon a creature? So here's what I did, and I do think it's probably a little bit awkward, and so I think the verdict's still out, but I like it so far. So the rule is that I tried to make summons a little more powerful, and what I would do is when a summon appears, it is permitted to instantly take either deploy or lure off of your sheet or off of someone's sheet. So if you cast a summon on round one, let's say you're unhidden and two creatures are on your sheet. I don't know, two wolves are on your sheet or two goblins, and you cast. So there's two ways I made summons more powerful. I probably went too far. The first one is let's say you rolled a 5 and you had two goblins on your sheet. Those wolves, when they appeared, could each take one goblin off your sheet immediately. Done. And so you would have no creatures on your sheet that round. So yes, they can super lure, summon lure, right? Because then that way they can be sort of a defense, as it were. Um, the second thing that I did is when you roll your summon, you can then take whichever summon that you roll or anything with a higher roll. So if you roll bat, you're allowed to pick bat, wolf, or squirrel. If you roll basilisk, you can actually pick any of the summons to come to your aid. So again, that and I got rid of anything which was a no summon. Like the summon elemental has nothing comes. I'm like, nah, you are casting a damn spell. You are literally picking you were literally you were taking a card, you were spending your magic chits, blah blah blah, right? You should get something. So you do at least get something every roll effectively. So I actually played a sorcerer with no attack spells and just the summon, and he did okay. It's a viable strategy now to say I'm going to summon. I'm going to be a summoner, and summon is my mainstay battle spell. It's random as shit, and you could easily find yourself in a position where you're like, well, that ain't gonna do it. I need to run or get out of dodge. But she could. So what I did with summon animal is they are crappier than the summon elemental, so she doesn't have as good a summons, but her summons have utility. So she could literally at the end of the day cast serpent or bat, and then the next day she could fly, or the next day she could walk the woods. If she gets the serpent or the bat. So I thought that was sort of a neat idea to sort of give each summon its own gig. But yeah, anytime you can summon, that denizen that comes is going to instantly pull something off your sheet if you wanted to. And so I thought that actually made the summons pretty viable and more interesting. And now I definitely consider taking them. So for the Enchantress, I would consider taking the summon as probably her combat spell, her mainstay combat spell. Now you're still not fighting, say, but if you're hidden, you could fight the goblins with a bear or a serpent. So yeah, I might take that. Torchbearer is always good. Warp Wood is sort of an intriguing. And then maybe Stone's Fly, even though I think Stone's Fly is probably a trap for her. Because again, you're rolling 2 dice on the missile table. Good luck with that, right? What are you going to kill? You literally have to roll a 3, 2, or 1 to kill a goblin with Stone's Fly. Well, okay, that's okay, I suppose. And then because it's multi-target, you can't ambush. You become unhidden. So interesting. I might try her Sunday, or maybe Saturday during the day. Might try her. The Inquisitor is also interesting, and again, I think for the Inquisitor, I would be super tempted to do flip and flip. Oops, I just flipped them both. That's great. Flip. I would be super tempted for him to do Small Blessing, which is a little cliche for type 1. Oops. Oh, man. Womp womp. Oh, do you not have Nudge as a type 7? Really? Okay. Is that literally a type 8? Must be a type 8? Yeah, we're pulling type 1s now. So, okay, well, I misread my own spells. And now I got spells all over the place. Yeah, Nudges is type 8. So that's too bad. Because that would give him a way better chance to cast Small Blessing and get it to land. So I don't know that I would take. I would consider not taking Small Blessing then. Yeah, I'd have to look at the type 7 spells again. There's not many that are going to sort of trip your trigger there at that point. Because you effectively need a 7 black or a 7 white for that to work. And you're really talking Staff to Snake, which doesn't work. Control Bats, Wisp Warrior, but it's a summon, and it could draw something off your sheet. So, yeah, interesting. All right, well, we'll get to that. That's Sunday. If you stayed this long, well, thank you for chatting. But I think I'm going to go. I'm going to get to bed here soon. So, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Jim, thanks for chatting. And I don't know if you're still here. David Peterson, thank you for commenting. Thanks for the kind words. I hope you enjoy the vids and the streams. So I am going to probably play one of these maybe tomorrow during the day, but I'll just record that, and I might play Sunday and that will probably be. I'll probably stream another one of these solo custom characters. Yep. Good night, ma'am. Have a good one. I will talk to you later. If you get any games, if you see anything and you think it's interesting, fire me like a comment or something. Because again, I'm looking for something that does this for me. So that's sort of where I'm at. You never, it's impossible. It's impossible. But I am still looking.